This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Summerhour with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. We're getting ready to take you live to the Las Vegas International Airport, which is getting a new name. The airport, now one of the busiest in the country, has been known for decades as McCarran International Airport, but today it is being officially rebranded as Harry Reid International Airport. The renaming process officially got started in February when the Clark County Commission approved the name change, but Commissioner Tick Segerblum has been spearheading the effort for several years, starting back when he was a state senator. He says he received letters of support from prominent Republicans as well as Democrats. The name change was approved by the Federal Aviation Commission and the Clark County Department of Aviation. It also has been backed by people like former Governor Brian Sandoval and Dr. Miriam Adelson, the majority shareholder of Las Vegas Sands, whose family owns the Review-Journal. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be here today at Harry Reid International Airport. I've been working on this issue along with other people for several years. Earlier this year, the Clark County Commission voted unanimously to change the name, and it's very symbolic for many reasons. First, as we all know, Senator McCarran, in retrospect, was not a perfect human being and did a lot of bad things, said a lot of bad things. So to remove his name from what is now the multicultural center of the United States is very important. We are not the Nevada that Senator McCarran worked at or lived in. We are a very multicultural, diverse, multiracial, multi-ethnic city, more than anywhere else in the world. Plus, we bring people from all around the world. So we don't want to represent just one person. We want to represent everybody, and that's what Senator Reid does. He was tireless in his work, but he grew up with one foot in Searchlight and came here and represents really modern Nevada. And so when you fly into this airport now, you're going to hear Harry Reid and you're going to realize this is the new Nevada. This is the Nevada that everybody around the world represents, knows, and appreciates. It is so important that we have this new name change. I want to thank some people who helped get this here. First, as supporters, we had a bipartisan group of people: Bill Hornbuckle, Jan Jones, Sig Rogich, Steve Klubeck, Dr. Adelson, Jim Murren. People from all around the spectrum realized this was so important to change this name, and also realized that it was so important to have Senator Reid's name on the airport. Even the Las Vegas Review-Journal supported the change. We also want to thank people who gave lots of money to make this happen. As you know, no public money is being spent to change this name. And I've already been told the website's already changed, the tweets have already changed. So from now on, Rory, this is Senator Harry Reid Airport. But the people who gave lots of money were Steve Klubeck, the Walters family, the Boyd family. They each gave $1 million. Thank them so much. But other people gave lesser amounts, but important amounts. So the Saltzman Group, the Siegel family, George Marcus, Brent Torino, Norm Brownstein, Jim and Heather Murin, Peter Krause, Congresswoman Berkeley, and Natasha and Gary Hayes all support this. But as you know, we still have a few more $1 million to raise, so anyone who wants to give money, just let me know. I'll come over to your house and pick up a check today. Finally, I just want to say that I'm so proud to be here because I wanted Harry Reid to know that Nevada appreciates what he did, what he has done, how he's made us an international place. If you mention the word Nevada, people say Harry Reid. He was in power in the United States. He worked with President Obama to get Obamacare. He changed Nevada. He saved Pyramid Lake. He created the first national park in Nevada. He's done so much for us, and we just want Senator Reid, Harry, we want you to know that we appreciate what you've done. You're so fantastic, and thank you on behalf of all Nevadans, and thank you on behalf of the Clark County Commission. And now I'll introduce Senator Jackie Rosen.
Thank you, Commissioner Segerblum. Really appreciate your words. And hello, everyone. I am so happy to join with you today. I wish that I could be there in person to celebrate this joyous occasion, because I can't think of a more fitting way to honor the legacy of my mentor and my friend, former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, than for his name to be showcased at one of the most active airports in the country. Thanks to your hard work, Commissioner Segerblum, and everyone on the Clark County Commission, visitors from across the country and around the world, well, they'll be greeted with the name of one of the most consequential leaders in Nevada's history. A man who's been a steadfast champion of equality and fairness during decades of public service on the national stage. From serving in the Nevada Assembly to taking on organized crime to becoming the most powerful leader in the halls of Congress, Senator Reid has dedicated his life to lifting our state up to new heights, helping create the world-renowned tourism and travel destination, well, the one that we know today. Throughout my time in the House and now in the Senate, I've learned and taken inspiration from Senator Reid and made it my top priority to put Nevada first. That's something I learned from him. During the last economic crisis, the Great Recession, it was Senator Reid who was instrumental in helping Nevada, and especially Las Vegas, weather the storm. His actions saved our economy. I continue the work he has done as a guidepost for how to help our state recover from this pandemic and its impact. Earlier this year, we passed historic legislation, the Rescue Plan, to deliver direct relief to families, to dramatically increase the use of vaccinations and get Nevada's tourism economy, we'll get it right back on track. And today, after nearly 2 challenging years dealing with COVID-19, our great state is beginning to recover. Just last month, we enacted the largest investment in half a century to modernize our airports and other critical transportation infrastructure. The American Rescue Plan and the bipartisan infrastructure law are exactly the kind of work that Senator Reid paved the way for, the kind of work that helps people and builds communities. It's an honor to serve in the United States Senate to build on his legacy. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to flying home from Washington every week and landing at Harry Reid International. So I want to thank everybody who's here today who helped make this name change happen. We really honor a truly remarkable leader and a great Nevadan. And I especially want to thank Senator Reid. I want to thank you, Senator, for your lifetime of public service, fighting the good fight in our state. You have helped to make our state a great place to live, to work, and to play. Thank you, and I again welcome everyone to Harry Reid International Airport.
Our thanks to Senator Rosen for joining us live from Washington, D.C. And now joining us live in person from Carson City, please welcome the Governor of Nevada, Steve Sisolak.
Thank you. I flew down from Carson City to be here for this. This is really quite an honor, and thank you, Tick, and both of our senators for those kind words. I am Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak, and I would not be governor without the help of Senator Harry Reid, who has been a friend, an inspiration, and a role model with the way he has handled himself and the way he has represented the state of Nevada. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone from Team Reid for inviting me here today and making this momentous occasion possible for our great state. I am deeply humbled by the opportunity to be part of this historic moment as we gather to celebrate the renaming of this world-renowned international airport in honor of our fearless leader and my good friend, United States Senator Harry Reid. As many of you know, prior to being elected as governor, I spent 10 years as a member of the Clark County Commission, the same elected body that oversees Nevada's largest airport, along with the best airport director in the United States of America, Rosemary Vasiliadis. We can give her a round of applause because she does a great job. I was by no means surprised when I heard that the Commission voted unanimously to rename the airport in honor of Senator Reid. We had this discussion when I was on the commission, but I want to thank the commissioners that are here and all of the commissioners for finally getting this over the goal line and making it a reality. It brings me great pride knowing that millions of people from throughout the world visiting our state will be greeted by our amazing hospitality and by the name Harry Reid International Airport. While some passengers may or may not know this outstanding national leader, The state of Nevada will never forget his legacy, and we are more than proud to bear the name of a person that has done so much for the entire state of Nevada. Senator Reid has never forgotten who he is or where he came from. He has spent his life and his career uplifting Nevada to what it has become today. He has helped to shape Las Vegas into a world-class tourism destination in a state that celebrates its diversity, from taking on the mob to taking on the federal government to stop Yucca Mountain. Harry Reid has been a fearless champion for all of Nevada. His story of being born into a family with nothing in Searchlight, working his way through high school and college, to rising to one of the most powerful positions in Washington is the story of the American dream. As a native Nevadan who grew up in the hard-scrabble mining town of Searchlight, Senator Reid has seen Clark County grow from a small western, just passing through area to a thriving community that is one of the fastest growing places in the country, one that everyone wants to visit. It is a diverse area to home to millions of people who have come here to lay roots, enjoy the beauty of our public lands, and to take advantage of the opportunities that Clark County and the state of Nevada have to offer. Families and businesses alike are working together to create a better place to live and work. We're seeing record investments in education, including a world-class law school, an emerging medical technology hub, and cultural centers that bring arts and community together like the Smith Center, an economy that works for all, and the new sports capital of the world as well. This environment would not exist were it not for the decades of service from Senator Reid, who never forgot where he came from. He never forgot where he came from. As we look out in front of us at this great airport, we can see the mountains and the road to Searchlight. Behind us is a world-class airport that now bears the son of Searchlight's name, and I could not be prouder today than to help celebrate this honor. As governor, I commend his actions and the outstanding progress that has been made possible under his leadership, and it is only fitting to rename the airport in the city and state to which he has given so much. I fly in and out of this airport a lot of time up in the air, and I don't have a private plane for those who started that deal. I fly Southwest Airlines out of McCarran International Airport, now Harry Reid International Airport, and I have to tell you, on one of my last flights, I could not have been more proud that we're nearing the end landing in Las Vegas. And the pilot came on and said, "We're beginning our descent into Harry Reid International Airport. Would you please return your tray tables and seat backs to their upright position?" I hope I hear that a lot more times, and everybody gets to hear that we're beginning our descent into Harry Reid International Airport. So on behalf of the great state of Nevada and the over 3.2 million people that call it home, I would like to thank United States Senator Harry Reid for his service to this great state, to our nation, and thank you to his entire family for being with us today. God bless you all.
Thank you, Governor. And now,
all right, good morning, everyone. If that had to happen, I'm glad it happened to me and not to our other guests. So first of all, let me begin by extending my absolute heartfelt thanks to the speakers that are here today. Senator Masto and Senator Rosen taking time out during their crazy schedule to be able to have a note to us. And then, of course, to the governor of the great state of Nevada, Governor Sisolak, also taking time out. And then we'll have a special guest coming up very, very soon as we look forward to hearing from the Undersecretary of Transportation, Monet, in just a few moments. Talk about taking time out of an incredibly busy schedule and flying in and having to fly right out. We really do appreciate it, and it really shows the stature of what today is going to give to all of us. So I have been with the Clark County Department of Aviation for almost 25 years, and throughout my tenure, there was no greater advocate for aviation in Southern Nevada than Senator Reid. His imprint is everywhere here, and his efforts continue to benefit travelers, whether they're locals, domestics, or international visitors, in ways that are obvious or, in some cases, perhaps not as well known by the public. So let's start with where we are gathered here at this very moment. Terminal 3 will mark its 10-year anniversary next summer. Over the past 9+ years, millions have passed through the space. But there was a time during the Great Recession when there was serious questions as to whether this $2.4 billion project could be completed. Senator Reid worked to ensure the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2000 included the alternative minimum tax relief. That, in turn, allowed T3's construction to continue on schedule, maintain jobs, and later saved us millions of dollars in debt service costs. Given the increase in air traffic we enjoyed coming out of the recession, particularly from international destinations, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of this terminal's work remaining on schedule. That never would have happened without the Senator's leadership. And when you step outside today on your way back to your cars, please look to the west, that way, and admire the airport's 352-foot-tall air traffic control tower, the second tallest ATC tower in the United States. It's situated next to a 59,000 square foot base building that houses our terminal radar approach control, air traffic control training simulators, administrative offices, and other critical FAA equipment. As air traffic in southern Nevada surged before the pandemic, a need arose for more space to house the men and women who safely guide aircraft both in the skies and between our terminals and runways. Senator Reid was instrumental in securing the funding for that $111 million FAA tower project, which recently marked its 5-year anniversary. And I must also mention it was Senator Reid who guided the passage of multiple congressional acts that provided Clark County with thousands of acres that will house a second commercial airport to serve our community's aviation demands. It takes years to plan and build an airport. Work to secure the site of the Southern Nevada Supplemental Airport began more than 2 decades ago with the passage of the Ivanpah Valley Airport Public Lands Transfer Act in October of 2000. That provided Clark County with approximately 6,000 acres for the primary airport site. And then 2 years later, Senator Reid secured the passage of a second congressional act that will provide another 17,000 acres near the airport site to ensure compatible development in proximity to this critical investment. While we are still years away from welcoming flights at this new facility, these actions again demonstrated Senator Reid's tremendous vision and his commitment to serving the needs of our community and its primary industry, travel and tourism. Of course, these are just a few examples, and I honestly could go on and on. But I will close with an anecdote I believe best sums up my experience and relationship with Senator Reid. There are times in this role when you need some help to accomplish an important task or goal. When those times came along, I knew Senator Reid was what I termed my one-call solution. I knew I could call him, discuss a situation, and was confident that he would take it from there. His understanding and dedication to air travel were so deep, his love of this state so profound, that I would leave those conversations knowing the airport had an amazing and powerful ambassador. As we heard today, the results speak for themselves. The airport welcomed more than 51.5 million passengers in 2019, a figure few of us dared to imagine and would never have been able to achieve without the Senator. So, Senator, congratulations as we embark on this new legacy for air travel here at Harry Reid International Airport. Thank you. And now, it is my distinct honor to welcome to the podium Undersecretary of Transportation, Carlos Monet.
Thank you so much for the invitation today and for the introduction, Rosemary. I am delighted to be here on behalf of Secretary Buttigieg and the men and women who work at the U.S. Department of Transportation. Senators Cortez, Masto, and Rosen, the Secretary sends his best wishes. Governor Sisolak and the Department is so proud to be your partner as we continue to improve and invest in the state's infrastructure. I had the pleasure of visiting the Boulder Highway project in Henderson yesterday that will transform the deadliest stretch of road into the state to a safe and welcoming, complete street. Congresswoman Titus invited me also to the Bonneville Transit Center in Las Vegas, which links 12 bus lines and serves thousands daily. Projects like these all across the state, U.S. Department of Transportation is showing our dedication to help make it easier, safer, and cleaner for the people of Nevada to get to where they need to go. But to the matter at hand, Senator Harry Reid's tireless work to deliver infrastructure projects can be seen all around the state. Senator Reid knows that rebuilding roads, highways, and bridges that are in poor condition would reduce commute times, save consumers money, and support the state's economy. That's why he worked so hard to relieve congestion on the I-15. That's why he allocated funds to the Nevada Department of Transportation for the airport connector to this airport and the 215 Beltway. By investing in infrastructure all around the Las Vegas Strip, visitors are able to more easily accessible the properties and generates millions and billions of revenue for the state. Senator Reid prioritized appropriations amounting to billions of dollars for this airport because he knew that it was the gateway to boosting tourism and helping Nevadans have good access to jobs. The senator's impact on Nevada is legendary, but his impact on infrastructure nationwide is also notable. During his years leading the Senate, Senator Reid shaped 3 major surface reauthorizations and led the passage of 2 major aviation reauthorizations. He strengthened infrastructure across the nation and laid the groundwork for the historic bipartisan infrastructure law that was signed by President Biden just last month. Here's some of a few of those details that are keeping us busy at the U.S. Department of Transportation. The law has more money for roads and bridges ever since the creation of the interstate highway system to help fix infrastructure that's been neglected for decades. It includes a dedicated program for projects that are too complicated and too big for traditional programs, but that'll make significant improvements in people's lives and improve entire regions' economies. The bipartisan infrastructure law makes historic investments in our ports and rail, which are going to move people and goods more efficiently, and it provides transformational funding for our airports to address repair backlogs, to reduce congestion and emissions, and drive electrification and sustainable fuels. The funding is going to help renovate terminals and make them more efficient and sustainable, and enable multimodal connections so it's easier to get to the airport without having to take a car. One of the hallmarks of Senator Reid's legacy is the work he did to combat climate change. Early on, he understood that addressing climate change would also create good jobs and economic vitality. And we're very proud that the bipartisan infrastructure law takes on that mantle, contains the first ever climate title, and contains funding dedicated to combating emissions and the largest investments in transit and electric vehicle charging infrastructure in American history. In Nevada alone, the state is expected to receive $2.7 billion over 5 years in federal formula funding for highways and bridges, $468 million, $500 million to improve public transportation, $38 million over 5 years to support the expansion of EV charging network, and $293 million for airports. We thank Senators Cortez Masto and Rosen, as well as Representative Titus, for their work to make that historic legislation a reality. This is our chance to invest in the infrastructure that our children and grandchildren will rely on. Together we have a once-in-a-generation chance to preserve our climate, to advance equity, to ensure economic competitiveness for decades to come. Let me close with a final note of congratulations to Senator Reid and his family, who fought for this state every day and left a lasting legacy for the nation. It is fitting that anyone who passes through this great city will be greeted by his name. Thank you again for the invitation, and happy holidays. Rosemary.
Okay, thank you. Now we have a little special presentation, so if you would follow me. you know, I see some of my other bosses here, commissioners. Come on up if you would and participate in this. We'd like to do a special unveiling. And through your support, we're here today. So what we have is, what is going to come very, very soon. And so we'd like to unveil it with the family. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And that's what it's officially going to look like. As you know, construction takes a little time. And these two pictures are in the first phase, which is fully funded by the private donations. And so we will be getting there from this point on. Things are already in the works. So with that, I'm going to ask you to take a look at our dynamic signage throughout the terminal here. And we're going to go ahead and declare this official with a countdown. So let's go ahead and get started with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let it be Harry Reid International Airport. And then, just to conclude this, first of all, I have to thank Megan Jones and all of Team Reid, who work so closely with the airport. This is a monumental task. And knowing between our security rules and all the layers federal, half county facility has is not always that easy. So thank you very much. Endless hours to get here, but tremendous support. And so with that, as this is our home, and now that the Reid family has a second airport family, we would like to present this, if you would please give this to your dad, on behalf of his airport family. So what we did is we wanted to mention today and have the future concept of what the signage is going to look like. Obviously, it's a big construction project. It's going to take a little while, but that is what we are, and that is who we are. So if you could present that to him on our behalf, we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Good morning. I'm Rory Reid. I'm the eldest son of Senator Reid, and I'm here representing the family. My dad gave me 2 assignments. The first was to say how much he regretted not being able to be here. He understands what an incredible honor this is for him. The second is to say thank you. There's a lot of people to thank. I'll do it quickly. I want to start with our governor, my friend, our family's friend. We're grateful that he's here and for the relationship we've built over all these years. Thank you, Governor. For the senators, Cortez Masto and Rosen that were here, we're grateful to them, the Undersecretary. I need to say a word about Rosemary Vasiliadis. Back before voters suggested I do something else with my life, I was the commissioner that represented the district that the airport is in, District G. And I got to know Rosemary very well then, and what was said about her is absolutely right. Nobody works harder in their job than she does, and she's an able public servant, and the community's lucky to have her. So thank you, Rosemary. The person that deserves the most attention for his efforts on this initiative is Commissioner Tick Sagerblum. The Reids and the Sagerblums have known each other for a long time, and he was dogged in his pursuit of this name change, and I want to tell him how grateful the Reids are for his effort. Thank you very much. And as you heard, it was a unanimous vote, so I want to thank the other commissioners that are here. I see Miller and Naft and Gibson, commissioners all, thank you for your support of this. If I miss somebody, they can get my apology later. Last thing I want to say. My dad was born in a 2-room shack in a lonely spot in the southern Nevada desert. All he had was a work ethic and a small circle of people that loved him. Despite that, he rose. He became a prominent national political figure unlike any other in Nevada's history. Likewise, this city was born in a lonely spot in the southern Nevada desert. It too relied on the grit and determination of a small circle of people that believed they could create its future. And because of them, this is the entertainment capital of the world. So it's understandable that we would name this airport the lifeblood of our community's economy after that man in this place. It makes sense. And the Reid family is eternally grateful because this ensures that those two narratives, that of my father, Harry Reid, and of this city, Las Vegas, will be inextricably linked in our community's future. So thank you very much for this honor. 1,000 times thank you.
Let's gather everybody. Please do one more photo opportunity.
Well, you just watched the ceremony changing the name of McCarran International Airport to Harry Reid International Airport. You just heard from his eldest son, Roy Reid. We will have much more for you on this story online at lvrj.com, and we will have an update on all of today's events for you this evening at 7 p.m. Remember, you can also download our free RJ mobile app to get news alerts sent straight to your phone. And as always, you can find us on Roku, Apple TV, YouTube, and all of your favorite digital platforms. I'm Renee Summerhour. Thank you for watching.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.